Hi all, this is part 2 of the series of the sixth video. This is series 5 and in this part we will discuss on the VPC pairing and we will see how can we do in the same region and cross region pairing. And agenda for discussion for today, we will create a region, we will create a two region. One region we will create an US East one and second region we will create on the US West one. And after that we will create a instance in the each VPC. It means we will use the two VPC in the one region. It means we will create a 4 instance over there. And after creating the instance, we will set the host name so that we can identify that which instance related to which host name, right? Which server or which region. After that, we will test the connection between that. We will try to ping the internal IP from one machine to another machine. That time it will not work because we cannot AWS is not provided that thing, so we cannot access system in the other VPCs, right? So after that, we will go and create the pairing. So we will create the connections. So we need to create the 6 connection. We will see in this section. And after that, we need to update the route tables also for the VPC for the US East one and US West one. After configuring that route tables, we will go to the VPC pairing and again test the connections. So when we will test connection, last time it was failed, will not work here, but when we will go again and test the connection here, we will get successfully connection over there. So it means we are successfully able to access this one instance from one region to another region or one region to another VPC to another VPC. We can access it. After successfully testing, we will go and delete all those sources. So we will discuss here how to delete all those sources. So as I told you that we will use the two regions, US East one and US West one. So we will create a two VPC here because we need to check the same region also pairing. So VPC A we will use here and VPC B, and we will check the we will create the AWS pairing between these two VPCs, right? And after that, we will use the US West one and US West two. US West one, and we will use the VPC X and VPC Y, two VPCs in this region, and we will create this AWS pairing VPC pairing in this is same region. We will check whether it is working or not, right? After doing the same region, we will use this cross region pairing. You can see we need to use the 4 pairing and 2 pairing for the same region. So how can we calculate how many pairings are required? We will see in a few in few minutes. So we will create this pairings, cross region pairing. You can see here 4 pairings we are using here between the VPC A and VPC B. We will use this pairing. VPC and A and Y we will use this pairing, and VPC B and X we will use this pairing, and VPC B and VPC Y will use this pairing. This is all are the cross region pairing, right? We will discuss all those things in demo. So we have done. Let's start the demo. So first we need to go and create the VPCs. Here we will create 2 VPC over there in the same Virginia US one region. So let's go there and start the process for the POC. And actually I have already created this documentation step-by-step thing, so it will be easy to understand. So just I am opening that logging to the AWS console. And you can see here I'm already in the Virginia region. So you can see we can go and create a single subnet things, and we need to give the name of the VPC A, right? So we'll go and create the launch VPC dashboard here. There's a multiple way. In POC, I've covered all those things. So sometime I will use this launch VPC widget, and sometime I will use the can create a VPC subnet route table internet gateway. We can do in separate way also, right? So here in this pairing, I am using that widget, right? So in next POC, we'll get a different thing, right? So I've used the multiple things so you can understand all those processes for creating those VPCs, right? So launch the widget. Here multiple options are there. We can go with public subnet, or you can go with public and private subnet. But here, if you go with this option, we need to create the net instance. Net instance is chargeable, so I'm not following this process because it's a chargeable basis. But our PC will work on this public subnet. We are selecting this option, right? So I am selecting, this is IDR for CIDR for this one 16.10.00/16, and we are good with that thing. So I am just giving the name VPC A, and subnet range is 10.00.24. That is also okay. And availability zone we can select 1A, and subnet name we can give the any subnet name, but I will go with this document. So I've given the public A. So let me give the public A this subnet name. And you can see we have done all those things, selected everything, and just we need to go and create the VPC. It is a simple step because we are using the wizard. We don't need to create any other thing, right? So it is just created. You can see here. You can see in your VPC you will get one VPC age created, right? So, but in this region we need to create two VPC here with same different VPC B name. So we will go again in the wizard VPC dashboard and create one more same option, select VPC with a single subnet and select it, right? So, but we need to change the CIDR because you already use 00, so I'm using 1 here. And we can see name here VPCB. And here we need to also change here, right? And we will use this US East B, and we will use the subnet name public B. You can see I use the same convention here, 10024 US1B and creating VPC, right? So we are doing everything with this document. With this diagram, we are doing we have created this VPC. Now we are creating this VPC, right? After that, we will create this VPC and this VPC. After creating this VPC, we will creating this peering connection, right? That is our target. Okay. So I'm creating this VPC here. Now you can see VPC is created successfully. So you can see here, you can see the two VPC over here. See why A or B is created, right? So now we need to open one more VPC in another region. We need to go to, see here. Let's go to the document, right? VPC East 1, we created East 1 region. Now we need to go US West 1 region, right? This is the California region. So we'll go and select, change the region from here, right? So you can see this is North California, US West 1. We will go over there and select this region. You can see here we don't have any, this is one VPC we have only here. This is a default VPC. So same process, we will go and launch widget here and select with the public subnet only, right? So I'm selecting this one, so it is going 10.00. That's the same subnet we have used, but if you are going to pairing, the subnet CIDR should be different, right? So here we will use in different range 192.168.00.16, right? So we'll go and use this CIDR and VPC name as mentioned, VPC X we will use, right? So we will go and use this VPC, and also we need to subnet CIDR also. So we will go 24 over there, right? And preference you can use US1A, and subnet name we can take public X, right? You can see we are using same subnet here, public public X, right? So just go and create this VPC, right? You've done this step. Now we need to create another VPC. You can see here VPC access created, VPC dashboard. You can go and launch it again. So here we will use a different range for that. So I'm using this range also. And VPC name, we can see VPC Y, right? VPC Y you can see here, right? And this thing will, so we need to change 24, right? And availability zone, we can take a different one. And this subnet name is public Y, right? You can see here public Y. Now we need to create the VPC, right? You can see VPC is created, right? Now we have created the 4 VPCs over here. You refresh it, you will get 2 VPCs here, right? So next step is creating the EC2 instance. So what we need to do, actually, you can see here, we have created this VPC, this VPC, this VPC, and this VPC, right? Now we create this instance in this subnet. 4 instances we need to create in different instance, right? So let's go and create first in the US East 1 region. So I'm going there and I'm opening the EC2 here. And you can see here I have written the same steps over there, right? So just instance, you can see nothing, no instance is running currently. So just go and launch the instance. I will select this Amazon Linux 2 MI. And this is for the instance for the T2 micro for the free tier, right? And next here we need to go and select this instance configuration. You can see I will select here from VPC A. And VPC we have only one subnet which is already selected public A. And auto assign public IP, so we need to assign this public IP for this instance, right? So you can see we have done the 3 steps. Already mentioned, I've already mentioned over here, right? And instance name, I'm just copying here. You can next storage, we will go with default storage tag. I'm adding this tag so we can understand this is instance for the VPC A region, right? Security, I think we need only that default security is okay, or you can select any security. I don't have anything, so we can go with same launch wicket, or you can give the name of the any security group, VPC A, right? We can create this one also. Security group VPC A. This is optional thing. You can add it later on also. And this is custom, so we can. I'm doing my IP. We can access from my IP also. Okay. So I'm going reviewing on launch it, right? Using this key pair and launching it. So one instance is created in VPC A. So we need to go and create another instance in VPC B also, right? So same instance I'm selecting same way. And selecting here VPC B. And even subnet only, public subnet, public B, US East 1B region, right? Enabling this one, and next storage with default one, and name tag we can define this instance B, right? And security group we can define this security group security VPC B, right? And you can see this is my IP. We can access it and review and launch, right? Now we have created a 2 instance in the, I will show you this instance here. You can see this instance is created in the region of North Virginia, right? Now we need to go again create a 2 instance over in this North California, right? So I'm opening this one also. You can see we don't have any instance over there, 0, right? So just go and create the 2 instance over here. Same instance we will use, and same type T2 micro, and I'm selecting here from VPCX. You can see this is selected public X already, right? And we are enabling that public IP, right? Now next storage will default, next tag we can add the name, This is X, right? And security group, you can see, sorry, you can select security group INSX, right? Security group INSX, right? X system, and select from IIP and launch resistance, right? This is created for X1, and now we need to go and create one more instance for XY, right? Y VPC, right? You can select this Y VPC, and this is public Y subnet is there. And we need to enable this auto assign public IP, and next is storage with default one, and tag we will add here Y, right? And security group, we can create a security group VPC Y, VPC Y, right? And accessing for my system. We will launch and launch it. Now you can see here, we will go and create check the instances. You can see instances running, one is still pending, right? So let's go and connect all 4 instances, right? So for connecting it, I will go and I will use this git plus and I will connect over there. This is 4 instance, so I'm opening it 4 times here. So first one, I'm going to the keys. My keys in download folder. So let's go and create it, right? So we need to create first VPC A. Let me refresh it once. You can see this both systems are ready, so we can go and connect it. Connect via SSH, right? So I'm going to connect it. This is connected. So first, if it's showing this public private IP, so it better we can change the name, right? So I have mentioned here. You can see here. I mentioned some steps here, giving the host names change. So I am just copying it from here. I am setting the name, right? See, and I'm changing the host name file also, and I'm removing it. And I'm giving the name this INS VPCA, so we can know that this is our VPCA instance, right? See here, we have changed it. Just I'm log out and log in again. You can see it is showing our VPCA VPCA, so we can easily recognize this thing, right? We have done from VPCA. Let's go and do it for the VPCB, right? And also we can see here in this document, we need to enable that telnet, because we use the telnet command. So we need to go to install the telnet package, right? So we can go and install over here. It is installed, right? So we have done from that A side, right? So for the B's connection, we can go and connect it. This is connected, so we need to go and connect it from here. No, we've done it. So we need to go. We can run this command also. We need to install telnet here. You can go install it. After that, we will go and change the name, right? See, so for this, we need to again follow the same process here, changing the name so we can understand easily. INS minus VPCB, right? Minus VPCB, correct. Exit and login again, right? You can see here we are getting our VPCB, right? Instance VPC. Here we are getting also. So we have done with that one also. Now go to connect with the other instances, right? You can VPCX. Let me refresh it. It is both are created, right? So go and connect with the instance X. No. Actually, we need to go to folder where our PAM file is there, right? Here, then, sorry. Then here we need to run it. After that, here you can see we need to change the name also for that one. So I'm going to change here name because this is instance X. So change the name also. This is VPC X, right? And before it, we need to add instance is there, right? So this is we have done, and we have changed it, right? Now we need to install that telnet command also, right? So we need to go directly and install it, right? So we have done. I am just exit and again, so it will reflect it. You can see here it is showing inst VPCX, right? So now connect to the next one. We need to go it and go and select that instance Y also and connect. This is connected. We're installing the packages for telnet, and next we need to give the name also, change the name of this instance, right? Ins VPC Y, right? Okay, now we need to do it exit and log in it again. You can see it is connected to VPC Y. Now we have done actually what we did so far. You can see this diagram. We created this VPC and instance also. VPC and instance, VPC and instance, VPC and instance. We have done so far. So now we will go and try to connect with public private IP from this instance or this instance, because we have not created this VPC pairing, so it will not work, right? Later we will go and let's check, right? So this is step you can see we have done it from VPC A. We need to telnet the private IP for the B, X, and Y and 22. So it is better. I will open the notepad and create this query right over there. So telnet for that private, we need the private IP, right? So we will go over there here, and we will see, we will check the what is the private IP for B. You can see private IP for B. Private IP for B, this one, right? This is B instance, private IP. So I am opening here 22, right? And also we can see here telnet for the instance A. What is the IP for private IP? You can see here this one. I'm copying here 22. I'm mentioning here this is for A, this is for B, and for X we need to write down, right? Okay. So for X we need to go to the another region, right? So this is the region instances. You can see here this selected Y. So it means we will get the Y. This is private IP for Y. So I'm writing here 10.22, right? And for the X1, you can see here, this is copy, you can copy here. You can also check via series also, I'm telling you. Like we have used in VPC A first 10.00 and B we have used 10.10 IP series starting from, and X we have 190 to 168 series, and Y we have used 190 to 169 series. So you can see we will getting this private IP in same range, right? So we have write down all those private IP. So what we will do from A system, we will ping this two, right? So from here A, we will go and ping it B, right? You can see it is trying to connect it, and also we will go from the X and try to connect to B1. This is a private IP for B, right? And from here Z we can go and connect this B, right? So it is trying to connect but not able to connect it, right? So next step we will go and connect to the X, right? So we will go and connect to the X. So from A it is not trying to connect, so I'm canceling it. Now trying to connect X also from here, and from B also I'm trying to connect, and from X not required. From Y I'm canceling it, trying to connect, not able to connect, right? So now we need to connect with Y also. So I'm going with A, I'm canceling it, trying to connect with Y also from A, not connecting, right? From Y, from B also not connected, right? From X also try to connect, not able to connect, right? So we have done this, but we need to connect with this A1 also. From A we go to B and try to connect it. Oh, spelling mistake, right? So telnet. Okay, so go and try to connect here. So we're not able to connect from here. B also, go to the X, try to connect A. Sorry, I think it is still not disconnected. It is still connecting. You can see here all instances are not connected to each other, right? That is our motive. So it is not working here, not working here, not working here, right? Okay, so we have seen that here our test will fail. Nothing is working. So for doing this, we will go and create the pairing. So what is the connection? How many connections we can know that? So we know that we have 4 VPCs, right? So you can see here, I'm again going back to diagram. We can using 4 VPC here. So how many pairing connection we can calculate? There is a formula for that. What is the formula? Formula is n minus 1 by 2. N is the number of VPCs. So we have 4 VPC. You can see we have 4 minus 1 by 2. It will come 6. It means we need to create 6 pairing connection between the 4 VPCs, right? So 6 pairing connection you can see here, and we will need to create 2 for the same region and 4 for the other regions. 6 pairing connection you can see. 2 we have created 2 pairing connection in the same regions. One, this is first and second, and 4 in the cross regions. We need to create, right? We will create one by one, right? So first for the, you can see pairing connection 1, we need to connect the same region, US East 1 and US East 2, right? So go to that VPC. Let's go to the VPC, and here this is the VPC, right? And you can see here peering connections, right? You can see currently you don't have any connections, so go and create the peering connections, right? So it is asking for the name. So what I have given, I'm taking name for the, because you're connecting pairing between A and B. So I'm giving the same name so we can understand that when we will use it, right? A to B. And we can see VPC requester who is requesting this VPC A or VPC B. Anyone A to B we can get, or B to A, both are same thing. So we are taking the requester is A, right? This is we got this idea for that VPC, right? Now the multiple options are there. We can create a VPC with a different account also and different regions also, but we are doing in the same region currently. This region US East one. So which acceptor? Acceptor is, we selected A, the acceptor will be B. So VPC B, we got this idea, right? You can see events and everything, right? So we were that done. We need to go and directly create this create VPC connection. This is first VPC connection is, you can see here. It is asking status is showing pending acceptance, right? It means we have given the request to the VPC B. Now VPC B need to go and approve it. But we are using the same VPC and we are both things. We are requester and acceptor both. So what we need to do, we just select this one and go to the action. And we will get this option, accept request. So just I am going there and I'm selecting this accept request. After accepting that, you can see status will be active. It means this is connection, pairing connection successfully established between the VPC and A and VPC B, right? Same thing we can do here in this another region with VPC X and Y. So VPC, we go to the VPC pairing connection and create pairing connection and give the name. So let me see which region we've created. I think I've taken not this one. I think it may be 6.4.6.1, same region, right? So I'm taking it to earlier, pairing X to Y. So just I'm putting X to Y. So the requester will be VPCX, and in this same region, right? VPCY will be the acceptor, right? VPCY, and just we are similarly we go and create the connection. So when we will go and create the connection, select this, because acceptor and requester both are the same region, same person. So I'm going and connect with acceptor request. I've accepted. You can see VPC connection has been established. So pairing connects to pairing connection is working fine for the same region. We have done for the same region. Now we will go for the different region. Another region, what we will do for VPC A to VPC X. I will show you diagram also so you can understand here. What we did so far, we have created this pairing and we have created this pairing. Same region we have done pairing. Now we need to do pairing the different regions. So first we will go A to X. We will create this pairing, right? Here you can see, so we will go to the uh, region and select this pairing A to X, right? Then this is our region is there. I'm creating these pairing connections and I'm giving the name of the A to X. Then here requester will be A and acceptor will be X, right? So go and select it, VPC A. A is giving the request to the X. So here we need to select, go to the another region, right? And which region we want to do it. So we have selected California region, US West one, right? So we need to go there and select VPC ID. So let's go to the in this California region and open this VPC. We can see. Let me open this VPC ID. I think this is the VPC ID VPX. I'm going copying it. copy it manually from this VPC ID and go there, and it's asking for the VPC ID for the acceptor. So it is we need to provide it manually, right? You can see in the tag here we have written same thing also, right? And after that we need to create the pairing connection, right? You can see here. Now it is you can see it is status is showing for this project system A2X pairing. Let me copy it. It is showing initiating request. It means request has sent to the requester, and in this case requester is not this VPC. Requester is the different region of VPC. So when we will go there, check the pairing connection, you can see we got one acceptance pending acceptance we are getting to. Let me name it here so we can understand this is for pairing A2X, right? So with what we need to go, and we can select and reject this request. So action, you can see both actions we are getting, accept request or reject request, right? So we are going to accept request from here. So when we are going and accepting this request, you can see here it is active. Now it is accepted here, so we can go and just go and refresh here. See, both are active. So we have created successfully from A2X because it is a requester is showing active and acceptor is also showing active, right? Because this VPC accepted from this place. So we will do the same thing from this place also, same place. So we will go again, create the pairing connections, and this time we will give this name. This is third pairing, right? Fourth pairing, pairing A to Y. So I'm giving the name A to Y here, and requested this time again A, right? And another region, we will go and select the California region. But here we will, this time we will provide the details for the VPC Y. So go to the VPC. You can see VPC Y, this one. I'm selecting this VPC ID for this one. And again, I'm selecting this one, right? You can see this is pairing A to Y. I'm providing the VPC detail for the Y VPC, right? So just go and create the pairing connections. You can see it is showing initiating request. Just go to that place also. Pairing connections, you can see pending acceptance. So I'm giving the name here for the understanding that thing. Is it A2Y, and I'm going select and accept the request. So you can see this request is accepted and it is showing active, right? So we have created this one also. Now next one, what we need to do? This is now we need to go to B2X, right? B2X. So we will go and create this from here, pairing B2X, and this time requester will be B. And in the cross region, select this California, and this is B2X. So we will go and take the IP for the X, this one. Select this IP, and we need to go and enter there, right? This is for pairing B2X. So I am creating this pairing connection here. This is done. Same thing, request is sent to the VPC X. So we will go there, VPC X, and we will check one request we are getting. So I'm giving the name here, right? And select it and accept request. So it is, you can see here, it is accepted. It is active. And here also you can see active, right? Now again, we go and create another pairing connection. You can see we have done this B2X. Now B2Y, we will do B2Y, right? So pairing between the B2Y and requester will be B, right? And another region, California, and here Y, VPC Y, need to VPC ID for that. So VPC Y, this is the IP, ID for VPC IP. So we'll go and mention it here, right? After the create peering connection, okay, it is again initiating request. Go to that place, peering connection, select it and give the name for understanding, right? This is B2Y, and go select and accept request. Close. You can see here now we have 5 active cases, and here you can see also there. I'm just refreshing it. You can see here it is 5 active cases, right? So we have created 5 and one for the same region, right? So you can see 4 are common and 1 are different here, one is different here. So we have 6 connections we have created, right, so far. So we have done this connection. Now what we need to do, we need to go to the route table and add those entries to the route table also, right? So we need to go to first route table for the US East one, because we need to define our flow for that route table. The route tables we are going over there, and which route table need to define here. You can see here we have written public A and public B. But route table we are not able to form there. There is multiple way for searching it. So we will go with route table we are using. So we will go in reverse way. We go to the subnet, and you can see subnet. This is our public subnet is there, right? Public A. I'm selecting this one, public A, right? And selecting this route table. You can see this route table is being used for the public A. So I'm going to click on that route table, and I got this route table for the public. If I'm giving the name of here route table for the public A subnet, right? So we got this route table. Same thing, we got it here. And here we need to define the name of the for that name, right? VPC A for route table for VPC A and route table for VPC B public. So if you want to, we can take the same name. Let me take the same name here. So better, I am taking the same name for understanding. This is route table for that this one VPCA public. I'm taking the same name for VPCA public. This I have given this name. Okay, we have got this name, and same way we can do for the other one also. This is selecting public B and going to route table and going to that way. This one we got it, and we will give the name of the R public B. So we got the name of the route table, right? So I think similarly we need to find out the route table for that different regions also. Let's do it, same thing. So you can see we have a subnet also. I'm selecting public X route table. So this is the, because we need to change this, modify this route table. The first step we are identifying the route table, right? So this is the route table we have for using for this one. I'm giving the name here, tagging, and again going to subnet public Y route table, and again we got in this name, right? So I'm giving the name of this route table name. So we identified the name, we have done the name. If you'll remove this filter, you can see 2 route table you got it, which are being used for this VPC, right? And same thing for this region also. C. Okay, this is A and B. So next step, we need to do the configuration, right? So we need to add a destination, right? Suppose what in route table we can define the flow. We can see in route table currently showing the 4 for the local system, right? And the internet gateway is showing over here, right, in the public instance, but it is other subnets flow is not there. So we need to go and define the subnets over right there. So you can see I have written all those steps here, which we need to select it. So for that, this instance for the BPCY, right? So I've given the sub CIDR for BPC Y, VPC B, and we will select how to target it. Target, we have created the pairing connection, right? So go and select this pairing connection. You can give 3 pairing connection, right? But which one we need to select? We need to select the pairing A to B, because this is for B region and we need to flow from A to B, right? You can see here. I mentioned here also pairing A to B, right? And second one, you can see here, we need to add one more route. This is for the X, right? X1. So again, we will select this pairing connections, and now A to X, right? I mentioned here A to X also. Now another region for the, we need to do it for another route. You can see this 92, 96, 169 for the Y. So A to Y connection, pairing connection, we need to select A to Y, right? This one you can see. I mentioned here A to Y. Now we have done for this route table. Route table has been changed successfully. Now you can see here it is showing pairing connection for this flow. So we will get the traffic from here also using the pairing connection, right? So same thing we need to do for the all public instance here. So add it, we still it is only one, so we need to add the 3 route here, right? So same routes we can go 1690. This is for Y to this one, B to Y. This is the B region we are doing. B to Y, we need to select this here. So B to Y, this one, correct? And in similar way, we can do it for X1 also. This is 168 IPs there, right? So here we will go and select pairing connection, and here we will select from, this is for the X. So this is B to X, right? B to X, this one. And say another one for the B2A. This is CIDR for the VPC A. So B2A or A to B we need to select here, right? So you can see A to B. You can select. You can see I mentioned all those things here. A to B 16, B2X and B2Y, right? Just save it. So we have done from this region, North Virginia. Now go to the California region and change the route table. This is for X1 first. So route, you can see only X flow is going here. So we will go and add again 3 routes, right? So I'm copying it from here. You can see I'm copying for the A, right? And it will perform the A to X, right? So go select there and A to X, this one select. And again, I'm selecting this one. And this is for B2X, right? This is for B2X. And now next one I'm selecting for the Y1. This is, so this one be basically for X to Y. Dairy connection X to Y. You can mention here X to Y. Now save the route tables. We are managing the flow. Now we need to change it here for the Y also. 2, 3, I think copy something. Yeah, this one is copied. So first I will take this one. This is A to Y, right? Pairing connection A to Y, right? And second one, this is for B. So this is B to Y. This is for pairing connection B to Y, right? And this one for the this is already there, so I need to change. This is X to Y, right? This is for the X to Y, right? You can see 168, 66 to Y. I'm routing the change. So we have done our changes and pairing connection is configured, and we have done the changing the route tables also for the flow. So it means traffic will flow from this IP using this pairing connection, right? So this is done. Now next step is, now we have created the pairing connection. Now test it again. whatever you have tested earlier, you can see here from VPC A, we are getting the issue. So let's test all those things. So first we will test from A to B. So A to B IP will be 10.1 starting from 1, right? So I am just checking. Yeah, actually I've just log out and try to ping it again, right? It is working. I will show you again here. Here, actually same thing, it will not work, but we need to take it from this A. You can see here we are not able to still connecting to the server because after creating the peering connection. Actually, I want to show you that because after creating the pairing things also, we are not able to connect our system, right? I can ping from the B2X, B2Y, right? This is a Y IP. And also we can try B2X, right? Still, we are not able to connect it. Actually, what we did actually, we are providing the security group actually on the instance level, right? So we are getting 22 requests from my system. I will show you those things because I have taken those time also. You can see here. I will just remind you that when we are creating the instance, before that step, you can see here in this instance, I have not mentioned anywhere the port opening, right? So we have opened port only 22 from our system, right? I am showing you this. You can see in this VPCA, we are using security group, this as the VPA we've created earlier, right? And you can see here, this security group is access only for the my system. Source is my system, right? But this time we are getting the request from the another VPC, right? So either we can provide the name of the other VPC over here for accessing those things, or we can open to all everyone. We need to add the CIDR for all other instance also here. Or alternate way, I am opening for anywhere security policy. But you can production, we can use the custom and provide the CIDR for that, right? Both options, it is valid, right? So I am doing for the anywhere, same where rule, right? I'm saving it. And I'm going to security group again here. And this is for the B1 also, security group B. You can see inbound rules is for this custom one. So I'm opening for anywhere, right? So this is done, changes from VPC A and B. And same here, I will do for other also. I think here. This is the VPCX, you can see security. We are using this one as the VPCX, right? You can see inbound rule is open from that custom one. So we are go and select from the anywhere, and I'm saving the rule. And this one for X and security group for Y also. We need to go over there, and I am giving routes for that anywhere. And you can provide this custom CIDR, right? So we have done, we changed the security policy, right? Now we will go in the same window. You ping this one, right? So just ping it again, right? From here also. You can see we're able to connect it, right? So what we will do, we will test it again. From here, I'm just clearing all those spaces. We can test it thoroughly, right? And A1, you can see clearing. Now we have already created this IP address. Now from A, currently we are in the, we will take this AIP and we will ping in the other three. Here we can check from the B also. We can see it is working. Ports are open, right? And check from the another region, telnet to private IP. You can see it is open, right? And from the VPCY also, You can see it is open, right? Now we will try to ping it to B server from the Z also, from Y. This is different subnet, different region, right? It is working. Put it open. And same for the X also. We will go and check it out for the B1. It is working, right? And we will check from the same region, right? Because A and B are both are the same region. It is working fine, right? So we have done. Now we will check the X1. This is inter region from the A. It is working, right? And from B, we will check it again. You can see it is inter region. It is working fine. From X, no, from Y, we are pinging to X. This is the same region, right? It is working fine. Now last one, we will check the Y, this one, and we will go there and select this, ping it. It is working, different region, right? And we will do it same thing from the B. This is B2Y. It is working fine. And now X to Y. It is for same region, right? So it is working fine. Now we are able to access the private APIs from the other region side. Now we have done the process, successfully tested all those things. Now next step, we have done this routing, we have done this testing connection, right? And all are working fine, right? I have written over here, what we did, right? And now it is deleting resources. It is a process we need to go to delete. First, we will go for the pairing connection, right? So just go over there in the server. I'm going over there. This is our VPC, and this is our peering connections. So I am going and selecting directly an action delete VPC peering connections. So we have created 6, so we need to do it over 6 time. So I'm repeating, I'm doing the same task. I'm deleting the peering connections. Right, delete VPC peering connections. Okay, now it will be deleted. Let's check in the other regions what happened. So this is North California. We can go and check the pairing connections. It is one is still active because this is the same region. So we need to go and delete from here. Same region, delete VPC connections, and it is deleted, right? We have deleted all those things. Now next step, what we need to do, you can see I mentioned we need to delete these things, and after that we need to delete from that things also, and also we can see route table. We need to go and delete it, other things. So if you want to go to delete from the route table, or we can directly go to delete the VPCs, right? So let's go and delete the VPC because VPC will automatically delete the route tables. So I'm going and selecting this VPC. But before that, we need to go, instances are running. So if you are going to select delete this instance, we need to delete the instance. I think this is the first step we have missed out, right? So first we need to terminate the instance, because if any instances are running, then we are not able to delete any VPC, right? So I am going to instance state and terminate the instances. So we need to wait up to it will delete it, the full thing. After that, after only we can go and delete the VPC. So just select it. I am terminating both instances. So you can see here instances are still deleting. So if you'll go there in the VPC, and your VPC will go and try to delete this VPC A, it will give the error because instances are still running over there, still not deleted so far. So I'm going and delete VPC. You can see here unable to delete this VPC containing one or more instances. C VPC A, this is source ID shutting down. It is showing. So I think we have to still showing network interface also because it is used by this VPC. So when it will delete it, it will release this source also. So after that we can delete this VPC. So I would suggest just wait for the 1 or 2 minutes. After that it will go and delete it. Let me try it again. yeah, it is stopped, so we are able to we are able to delete it, right? Because it will delete, you can see it will delete this also, public A, our route table, right? This is our subnet, custom subnet. This is our route table, right? It will delete everything. So just go and delete. You can see it is deleting this our PC. So this one is deleted. Now go to the BPCB and action and delete BPCB also. See, yeah, we can go and delete it. So just check it out. Yeah, it is deleted, right? Now you can see here we need to check the how many VPCs we have. We can see only default VPCs there and default subnets are there, right? Default route table, default internet gateway. All are the defaults one, right? So you can see, check the same thing on the dashboard also. You can see I'm just refreshing dashboard. You can see in the Virginia region we have 6 subnets, right? One route table, one internet gateway. It is showing correct one, right? Okay, and it is, you can see it is showing 5 VPC pairing connection because still it is deleted and will remove after some time. You can see here it is deleted, right? Sorry. So we have done from this side. So let's check. Let go and delete from other region also. So other region you can see 2 VPC X and Y. So I'm selecting this one and actions delete VPC. Deleted, right? This VPC. And second one you can say delete VPC Y. Go and delete this VPC also, right? Okay, so both are deleted. You can check the dashboard over here also. In this region you can see in this California region we have 1 VPC and 2 subnets only, one route table default, one internet gateway, all are the default one, and this is showing VPC pairing 5. So you can see here VPC connection 5, it is still deleted and it will remove from after some time. So we have deleted all those resources and I mentioned all those steps here. So we have done this POC for the VPC pairing same region and other region. Now next video we will meet over there and we will discuss on the target gateway, connect 3 VPC in the same region. So this will be the part 3 and we have done from so far now. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. So bye for now. We will meet in the part 3 for the study 6. Thanks. Thanks for joining.